Welcome to Challenge Forex. Join me now as I go through the last week's forecast and have a look at the results of the trades that I was watching for this week. So we'll go over the winning trades, the losing trades, and there will be some that didn't actually turn out to be any trades at all. They actually broke through our zones and didn't give us a setup opportunity. So stick around and let's see the results from this week. Okay, the first one on the list was the Aussie CAD, and this one we actually were predicting short for this week, and it did actually pay out. So we have here I wouldn't really make this trade on the Monday, although it would have been actually okay anyway, but always wait for maybe Tuesday onwards. So we've got here our first setup, the bearish candle closing below the zone, and it's around a 40 pips stop loss, and if we're going for a 1-to-1 we would have made it about here. Total went down about 72 pips, so you could have got a 1-to-1 and then maybe a trailing stop or move to break even at 1-to-1, but that one actually turned out okay. The next trade we had was the Aussie yen. We were hoping for this one to bounce and go long at this zone, but we didn't actually get a setup here. We basically went straight through the zone and a couple of indecisive candles and then closed below the zone, so no trade set up for the Aussie yen. And the next one we're looking at is the CAD Swiss, and the same thing with all of the CAD pairs actually. It's just crashed straight through the zone, so I'm not sure if there was some news with the Canadian dollar, but something happened with Canadian dollar anyway, causing it to go straight through the zone, so no setups at all for the CAD Swiss. And the same for the CAD Japanese yen. This one actually crashed straight through the zone, didn't give us an opportunity for a setup, so no trade setups here. We're looking at now the Euro CAD, and this one actually did give us a setup. We were looking for a bounce in looking at the daily charts. We were looking for a close above the green zone and then to take long, and this was actually the previous week, so disregard that trade. But we've got here our trade on Friday, closed above the zone. I would have personally put the stop loss below this swing low here, which is about 55 pips, and this one actually went for a total of about 129 pips, so that would have been a successful trade if you had have taken that one. After the Euro CAD, we were looking at the Euro Swiss as our next option. This one did the same as the CAD pairs. It actually went straight through the zone and didn't bounce, so there was no opportunity there for a trade. And we're looking at now the Euro Pound. We've actually been watching this one for a couple of weeks, but this one looks like it did actually give us a trade setup. On the daily chart, we were looking for a bounce in this zone, which it actually closed below the zone and then closed above the zone again. So that one, I will still actually count that one as a trade, but the position I would have got in for this one would have probably been here after this candle here. It's about 25 pip stop loss, and total went for about 190, about 96 or 98 pips in total. So we would have had a little bit of drawdown here, but not enough to stop us out. On to the Pound Aussie, and this one was we were looking for a bounce off the zone, which we actually did receive here. And looking at the 4-hour chart for our trade opportunity, there's a couple of places we could have got in. This one, we would have set the stop loss below the zone, so around 95 pips stop loss and entry here. If we got in on Monday, this one was a little bit iffy, probably wouldn't have taken this one. If we got into this one, that would have been a successful trade. The other opportunity was on Friday with 100 pip stop loss, and we would be currently still in that trade and up 56 pips on that one. Pound US dollar, and this one there was no trade set up, but we were looking for this one to bounce long this week, but the only thing that happened was a bit of consolidation at the beginning of the week, and then a big bearish candle which closed below the zone, and that one made it invalid. We were looking for something like a big candle like this one to actually close green instead of red, so this one was invalid. No trades for this week on the pound Aussie, sorry, on the pound dollar. Let's see, the next one we have on the list is the Canadian US dollar. This one actually did give us a trade setup on the 4-hour chart. We can see here that we did get a bounce. And I probably wouldn't have taken this entry here because it's not a very positive looking green candle. But after this candle or during the pullback, sometime on this next candle would have been okay as well. Stop loss would have been 51 pips. And this one actually went as high as about 55 pips. So if you were doing a one-to-one trade, you would have made your profit. If you were going for something more, you would have moved to break even, and we would still be in the trade at this point. US Swiss, and this one, no trade set up at all. We were looking for this one to hit our zone and then close with a positive green candle, but it actually crashed straight through the zone and kept going, so no setups there on this one. And the last one for today is the gold setup. We were looking for this one to go short, so the entry point for me would have been after these two red candles, this one that closed below the zone. The stop loss would have been about around 310 points, but we would have actually been stopped out on this one pretty much straight away, so that one would have actually hit our stop loss. So this is the summary sheet, a spreadsheet for this week, showing the trades that we did have. So there were actually 6 trades that didn't set up at all, and 1, 2, 3, there were 4 that would have possibly been successful trades if you had taken the setup, and the gold would have been a losing trade at the end if you didn't make this setup. So let me know in the comments below if you actually took any of these trades, and were you successful? Did you win or did you lose? Did you come up this week with a profiting week or in a negative week? Hit the like and subscribe, and you'll be notified of my weekly updates every week as they come along. Basically, I do a forecast every weekend and also a summary for the previous week.